how much of the hole that Rachel Reeves is in would be resolved if she was able to be freer of the OBR, the Office of Budget Responsibility? Critics of that body say, for instance, that the OBR estimated that the planned welfare reforms would save less than was hoped. So that forced the Chancellor to announce some last-minute savings to fill the gap, and that is what caused her political problem. The OBR, of course, is independent. It produces detailed 5-year forecasts for the economy and the public finances, and it does that twice a year. Sir Charlie Bean is here in the studio, Deputy Governor of the Bank of England for many years, now Emeritus Professor of Economics at the London School of Economics. Morning.
Morning.
The role of the OBR, is there, do you think, a legitimate way in which people could say of it that it is not functioning properly and is having an impact on policy that it shouldn't be?
I think the fault here is not with the OBR itself. It's an independent agency. It tries to produce numbers as objectively as possible, and that, I think, is a good element of the economic decision-making infrastructure. The difficulty that Rachel Reeves has created for herself is that, having chosen fiscal rules, and I emphasise that the OBR has no role in choosing those rules. It's entirely up to the Chancellor to set her or his rules. She's also chosen to operate with a very small margin of so-called headroom against it, about 10 billion. That's a very small number in the context of overall public spending. As Paul Johnson just said, government spending is about 1.25 trillion. So 10 billion is a small number. And it's a small number in the context of typical forecasting errors. You can't forecast the future perfectly, both because you can't forecast the economy and because you can't forecast all the elements of the public finances.
But that, of course, is another challenge to the OBR, isn't it? That actually the forecasts are wrong.
Well, the forecasts are imprecise, and there is no way you can avoid that. That is a fact of life.
But are they so imprecise that actually it's not a piece of work that is worth doing, in the sense that it then forces a Chancellor, in this case Rachel Reeves, to make tweaks to things that cause her difficulties that actually she may not need to have made?
That's possible, but that's precisely why she should aim to operate with a larger margin of headroom. So previous Chancellors have typically operated with headroom of the order of 30 billion. And that means, so you don't try and keep it always at 30 billion, but you've got a margin you can draw down on if the forecasts move in the wrong direction. Because she's chosen to operate with about a third of that at 10 billion, it's very easy for the numbers to go in the wrong direction, and she finds that she has to neurotically fine-tune taxes to control an OBR forecast for something that's several years ahead.
So how does she get out of that straitjacket? What does she do?
Well, in some sense, the original sin was that she shouldn't have chosen to operate with such a tight margin of error. She's obviously going to have to do something anyway to finance the U-turns on benefits and on winter fuel payments and so forth. And your discussion with Paul Johnson has talked about some of the options there. But I think if she was wise, she would also look to try and build in for the future a larger margin of headroom, so that she won't be continually in this position for the remainder of the government's term in office.
Sir Charlie Bean, we've got to leave it there. Thank you very much.